I wanted to talk a little bit first, just to warm up again, to let you know what we're doing. We're O-Hoops, all right? We train. We get kids better. We get adults better. That's our whole thing, is getting you guys better. It's not about us, it's about you guys. So make sure you talk to us in this training. Stuff you see that you can't do, say something to us, let us know, so we can kind of, some of my coaches are writing things down right now. We're making sure we take notes on how to get you better, all right? Again, today is about training and getting people better. And this guy, you know, I'm telling you, he did it for himself. He's doing it for a lot of people across the world. He's global with this, China, I mean, everywhere. I follow him. He's been all over the world in the last few months. So I'm gonna let him talk to you guys for about 3 or 4 minutes. He just wants to give you guys, you know, a testimony about himself. Pat the Rock. Guys, give him a hand, let's go.
Like you said, my name is Patrick Robinson, aka Pat the Rock. I'm from Maryland. I attended the University of Cincinnati. From there, I pursued my basketball career all over the world. Got a chance to do a lot of cool things. Currently on a TV show called Ball Up. But when I'm not doing that, my passion is giving back, helping kids get better, helping players get better. Some of the players that I work with, teams I work with, players from Duke, Maryland, Indiana, NBA players, Tyreke Evans, Jarrett Jack, Kevin Durant. My specialty is ball handling, known as the world's greatest ball handler. And to be known as the world's greatest, you gotta go all across the world and play against the best. So I've had a chance to do that, and it's been pretty cool. The fact that you guys are here today on a Sunday afternoon shows me that you guys want to improve, that you want to be better. So I'm really excited about O-Hoops, the intensity that you guys have an unbelievable staff here today. Take advantage of it. When I was a kid, and a lot of kids my age, we didn't have what you guys have today. You guys have a beautiful thing called opportunity. Take advantage of it. You can do anything that you want to do, put your mind to it. All right? I want to get a little bit of feedback from you all because I'm curious to know what type of players you are. By show of hands, who in here wants to be good one day? Who wants to be a good basketball player one day? Raise your hand. Everybody. Okay, awesome. Another question for you. Who wants to be a great basketball player one day? Can't be both. Let me ask that question one more time. Who wants to be a good basketball player one day? Okay, who wants to be great? It's a huge difference between being good and being great. It's a huge difference between being good and being great. Let me tell you what good players do. Good players work out. Good players work out. You know, they can come to the gym, they can shoot all day, practice all day. Let me tell you what great players do. Great players outwork. Great players outwork. Good players work out, great players outwork. What does outwork? Outwork means you go a little bit harder than good players. You go as hard as you can in each drill, like Coach just talked about down there. That's the difference between being good and being great. How many of you want to play college one day? Professionally. Okay, pretty much everybody. Good players don't make it to college. Good players don't make it to the NBA. They don't make it to the WNBA. Great players do. So keep that in mind. When you're here today, I would tell you that it's not a competition, but it is. Compete. That's how competitive I am. I want to be the best every day, everywhere I go. When I go to sleep at night, I might wake up and go to the gym 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I know when I'm sleeping, somebody in China is working on their jump shot. Somebody in Africa is working on their ball handling. I can't let them outwork me. That's what the great players do. That's what the great ones do. So you got to keep that in mind. If you have dreams or aspirations of playing at that level one day, you can do it. Like Coach was saying earlier, anything is possible. Those are 3 simple letters that I live by. AIP. You'll hear me say that all day. Anything is possible. Someone told me that early in my career. High school. Never started a game. Sat on the end of the bench. High school, I could not even barely touch the backboard. Now, I can do pretty much any dunk I want to do. I grew up playing video games when I was a kid. Now I do a lot of the moves that you guys see on the video games. I make the moves for those video games. When I was a kid, I always wanted the best shoes. I always wanted the new Jordans. I always wanted the new Kobe Bryant. Now I have my own shoe out in stores. And I tell kids all the time, in high school, I sat on the end of the bench beside the Gatorade cooler. But because I outworked every day and I worked hard as I possibly could, now my face is on millions and millions of Gatorade bottles in stores. All right? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Good players work out. Great players outwork. Who still wants to be great? Keep that in mind. You guys are still young. You have an opportunity to do some great things. You have great people down here, a great base around you. Listen to them. Take their advice and continue to work hard. Like I said, it goes back to outworking. I was always used to people telling me that I couldn't do something. I'll tell you one thing I learned in my career is failure is the biggest motivation you can have. Before success is failure. Never forget that phrase. Before success is failure. I used to jump and try to touch the net, touch the backboard. So what I did is I dedicated myself. Every morning I woke up, I ran 3 miles. Every morning. That 3 miles was my breakfast. Went right out on the street, ran 3 miles before I did anything. Before I even shot the ball. That's the first thing I did. Ran every day, did little simple things. Line jumps, calf raises, on the hills, on the steps. Didn't lift a whole bunch of weights, but I worked at it every day, and that was one of the things I wrote down. When you write things down, have a plan. When you have a goal, you write something out, you can achieve it. And by the age of 21, which is nearly impossible, if you're not dunking by 18, 19, and you're not tall, it's not going to happen. So you guys can do anything you put your mind to. When I was in college, I used to take my basketball to class, to lunch, to the library. Everywhere I went, they thought, this guy's crazy. Why does he always have this basketball in his hand? My hands would bleed because I would dribble to class. I didn't care because I wasn't ashamed. You should never be ashamed of your goal, what you're trying to accomplish. I see a lot of you guys raise your hand lackadaisical when I asked if you want to play college or NBA. Don't be ashamed. Nobody else has to believe in your goal. But if you do it, if you believe in it, anything's possible, man. All the time. How many hours a day do I practice? All right. Raise your hand if you want basketball to be your job one day. Raise your hand. All right. How many hours a day do you practice? 2. Right here. Yeah. 1. Right here.
Like Thursdays and Fridays, 2.5 hours.
Okay, good. Who can tell me how many hours are there in a 9-to-5 job? 9-to-5 job. 8 hours. So when I was a kid, I said to myself, I wrote it down, I want basketball to be my job one day. So I can't work on my game 1 hour a day. I can't work on my game 2.5 hours. Guess how many hours I worked on my game? 8 at least. And this is a true story. That's how passionate I was about the game of basketball, and I still am. Nothing to do but to get better. All right? A little bit later, if you guys have questions or whatever, feel free to ask me. But now it's time to outwork because we want to be great. All right? Let's go.